The crews are waiting to start the race. The preparatory signal has already been given, and we have now in the water 8 49ers for the final race. I remind you the format, which is 3 final races, and these final races will be the score of the final races will be added to the score of the resulting from the opening series, and into the final race we arrive with Nico Delecart leading on Januzelski, and then Hansen in third, Platz in fourth, Angelela in fifth, Mathieu Freith in sixth, Julien Dortoli in seventh, and Thomas Buckmaster in eighth. Now Nico Delecart is checking the line, is the Austrian 49er. You see now passing by the pin and boat. Meanwhile the French are just leeward of the race committee. It's around 1 minute to the start. In few seconds we will see the Papa flag going down. This will mean 1 minute to the gun. Here it is, 1 minute to go, 60 seconds through the start. We had two previous final races with L3 and L2 course. L3, L2 or L4 identifies the number of laps that the boats have to do for closing the race, and the course is a simple windward leeward one with no offset mark and gate downwind. Boats are standing close to the line. Let's see what happens now. Very close, ready to start, trying to build up speed. Wind has decreased. It's gonna be probably tricking. 10 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, this is amazing. Fantastic port tack start of Nico Delecart, crossing the wall fleet and now tacking in control. And that was a good move from them. They really, but on the other side they really had a bad tack and stopped. Having a penalty probably. We've been given a penalty by the jury, or auto-infliged, probably because of forcing the cross on the left-hand side of the course. France and New Zealand, they arrived to the limit of the course, which is closed by some marks. We are talking about the Kiwi crew, Marcus Hansen and Josh Chakrana, and the French crew of Julien Dortoli, which is France 8. Wind is a little bit picking up at the moment, but we're racing in lighter conditions than before, but it's still full power for the 49er, 2 people on the wire, and the boat is always providing fantastic speed, even in not so strong wind conditions. Unfortunately, we see Nico Delecart in the very back of the fleet, despite having quite of a good start at the pin end and crossing on port some of the boats, but we think that he forced too much that cross, and then he was infringed a penalty by the jury, or auto-infringing to himself. So we have now Dortoli, the Kiwis, the other French crew, and Angelela heading towards the mark. The fleet is really packed up, except France 8, which is now rounding the mark. In second position, New Zealand rounding right now. In third position, followed by Italian Angilela. Sorry, Italian Plassi with the red Genaca, and then Italian Angilela with the black Genaca. Poland 52, Tomasz Januszewski is then following. In the first position, French crew of Julien Dortoli and Noël de Plech is now really sailing confident and literally flying down to bottom mark, followed by the Kiwis, which they really prove consistency in this final series. And then we have Plazzi with the Italian guys, Plazzi Molinaris with the red Genaca, which are in third position, trying to getting better results than the first two races. Angilela is the Italian guy with the black Genaca, is now having some speed problems, looks like. They started down with a little bit too much over-trimmed Genaca. Okay, at bottom mark we have France rounding, then New Zealand following, and then Italy Plazzi, and then it's a close fight. On the left-hand side, Poland, and on the right-hand corner gate we have the other French crew, followed by Angilela. Nico Delecart is now really paying badly. Mistake done suddenly after the start, and is playing the last position in the fleet. Dortoli is now crossing the field on port, and then New Zealand has clear wind and trying to catch up. The situation behind is a little bit uncertain until we don't get to crosses, as we have the boats splitting at the gate. But we see the way the French are sailing and the Kiwis are sailing is really confident for this win. And there are many windsurfers watching the race around, and luckily no one of them is really interfering with this race. I have to say that the organization is doing a great job by settling down this course, which is delineated by two lines of marks between which the boats must sail. So it's like a fence on the water that the boat cannot cross, and they have to stay inside these two lines of marks. We saw the French that they are exactly doing this, as they were going to the border of the course and then they tack. So it's a continual rebouncing from left hand side and right hand side, and it's much more about maneuvers and boat handling than about managing shifts. The course is so close that and is not wide enough to provide very big differences in shifts and in pressure. So now the French, Francais Dortoli is rounding in first position, followed by Marcus Hansen and Josh Akran from New Zealand in second, and then we have two boats, which is Italy and France, going to the mark, and we have Italy inside, so France let them go, and then we have it's going, and now we're going to be the Italian red Genaca of Plazzi Molinari is going up, followed by the blue one of Mathieu Frey and Yann Rochereux from France. In fifth position, Giuseppe Angilela and Pietro Zucchetti from Italy, and then we have Poland, Austria and Argentina following. Austria could catch up one position. All right. Getting to the finish, parade sailing for France and for New Zealand. Crossing the finishing line of the third final race in first position is France 8, is then followed by New Zealand boat of Marcus Angers and Joshua Carana, and then we have in third position the other French crew of Mathieu Frey. And then Plazzi is now overtaking the French actually, and it's very difficult to say from here. I was landing first, probably the French, and then Plazzi in fourth, difficult to say from our position, and then we have Angilella in fifth, followed by the Poles, Poland, and then Austria, Nico Delecart, and finally Argentina. After the finish of the race, the boats are heading towards in. We will see what is the final verdict of the jury about positions. As from our position, which is exactly the same that you see on the screen, it's very tough to understand who was crossing the line ahead between those two crews. We'll be back to you soon. Thank you for following.